December 30th, 2000. A quiet, suburban neighborhood on the outskirts of Tokyo, Setagaya. Inside a two-story home, the Miyazawa family was preparing for the new year. But before dawn, every single one of them, father, mother, and two children, would be brutally slaughtered. The killer didn't flee immediately. He stayed inside the house, ate their food, used their computer, slept on their couch, and then vanished. This is one of Japan's most disturbing unsolved murders, the Setagaya Family Murders. The Miyazawa family lived in a peaceful neighborhood at the edge of Tokyo, right beside a public park. Yoshiyuki Miyazawa, 44, worked for an advertising company. His wife, Yasuko, was a kind, soft-spoken mother and a part-time teacher. They had two children, 8-year-old Nina and 6-year-old Ray. Neighbors described them as gentle and happy. Their home was warm and filled with laughter, but it was also located at the very end of a quiet street, a dead end with few passersby. In the days before the attack, some neighbors reported something strange. A man seen loitering around the park, staring at the Miyazawa house. No one knew who he was. No one knew that he was about to end 4 lives. It began sometime after 11 p.m. Yoshiyuki was likely the first to hear something, maybe a noise from downstairs. He went to investigate. The killer had already entered the house, either through an unlocked window near the bathroom or by climbing a tree into the second floor. Yoshiyuki confronted him. A violent struggle followed. The killer used a samurai-style knife, slashing Yoshiyuki multiple times until he fell. Then the killer went after Yasuko and Nina. Both tried to defend themselves. There were signs of a desperate fight. Yasuko had defensive wounds, and Nina's small hands were cut as she tried to protect her mother. Finally, he found Ray, asleep in his bed. The boy was strangled to death. The house fell silent. But here's where the story takes a chilling turn. The killer didn't leave. After murdering the entire family, he calmly made himself at home. He ate ice cream from the fridge, drank barley tea, used the family's computer to browse websites. He even used the bathroom and didn't flush. He stayed for hours. Investigators found evidence that he had changed his clothes. Some of them were left behind, bloodied. They also found a knife broken from overuse and a mysterious fanny pack containing sand. Sand that came from a U.S. military base in Japan. Every movement, every trace seemed to tell a story, but one that never made sense. This wasn't a random act. It was something else, something calculated, yet bizarrely careless. The next morning, Yasuko's mother stopped by the house. She lived next door. She had tried calling, but no one answered. So she walked over, unlocked the door, and stepped into a nightmare. Her daughter was lying lifeless in the hallway. Her grandchildren gone. Her son-in-law butchered. The scene was horrifying, yet strangely silent. Police arrived within minutes and began one of Japan's largest murder investigations in history. They found thousands of pieces of evidence: fingerprints, blood, DNA, footprints, even the killer's clothes. And yet, no suspect has ever been caught. The evidence was staggering. The killer had left behind everything. His blood was found mixed with Yoshiyuki's, suggesting he was injured during the attack. His fingerprints were everywhere. His DNA was clear. His clothes traced to brands sold in limited stores in Japan and even Korea. One crucial clue, the sand in his fanny pack, was traced to an area near an American airbase in Yokota. That raised the possibility that the killer was connected to the military or had traveled through the area. But DNA testing ruled out every American and Japanese suspect in the base. Some believe the killer might have been Korean, possibly a transient, or someone who crossed the border illegally. Others thought he could have been a local with a secret life. Despite the clues, nothing fit perfectly. It was as if the killer appeared from nowhere and then vanished the same way. Theories swirled. Some thought the killer was a professional hitman, sent to silence Yoshiyuki for corporate reasons, but the chaos of the crime scene made that unlikely. Others believed it was personal, perhaps a rejected acquaintance of Yasuko or someone who had been watching them for weeks. Yet the strangest theory came from the crime scene itself. Investigators noticed that the killer had removed his shoes, a distinctly Japanese habit. He also used tissue paper carefully, as though he were familiar with Japanese etiquette. But then, he used the family's computer in a way that suggested Western behavior. Careless, impulsive, unfiltered. It was like two people existed in one body, part local, part outsider. A man who belonged nowhere. To this day, the Setagaya house still stands, sealed off, untouched. The family's belongings remain frozen in time. Every year, police return to the home to re-examine the evidence, hoping that one day, technology will unmask the killer. But decades later, Japan's most haunting mystery remains unsolved. A family wiped out in one night. A killer who left behind everything, except his identity. And somewhere out there, he's still free. If you found this case disturbing, remember, it's real. For innocent lives lost, and one shadow that still walks free. What do you think happened inside that house? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more real, chilling mysteries, subscribe. You never know what story I'll uncover next.